a certain experiment, the sample space is given as A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then they say event A is this one, event B is this one. They say draw a Venn diagram showing the outcomes. So if you're going to show outcomes, you're going to show the actual things here. So we want to know which do we have A and B. Do we have something like that? Okay, give me those which is A and B. It's D and E. Okay, let's consider there's an intersection between these two things. Okay. So if we're going to write it here, we can say, okay, this one represents A. This one can represent what? B. Now, if you're going to draw your Venn diagram, if you're showing the outcomes, outside here, you're going to say it's S. And then on your S, you write all the possible outcomes that are there. So you have A, okay? You have B, okay? You have C, you have D, you have E, you have F, you have what? G, and then you also have H. That is the last one. Yeah, you write all of them. And then where do we start when we are busy writing a Venn diagram? We're going to start in the middle, the end part, okay? Because we don't want to count them 2 times. Do we have an N? Which one is that? So we can put D here, and then we can also put what? E. Okay, now that I've used these two, I'm going to highlight them. I've used them. I can't use them again. Okay. Now, what is going to be A only then? So I'm going to have A, and then I'm going to have B, and then I'm also going to have what? C. Okay, we're done with that one. Let's go to event B. On event B, what we have? Highlight the ones that we have used. We've used this one, we've used this one, we've used this one again. What are we remaining with then? It's F, it's G, and what in H. Are there any people that we haven't used after that? That we can put outside? We don't have any people that we can put outside. Okay? Okay, this one, what does it represent? It represents the actual outcomes. Now, as we graduate and then we get to grade 11, we'll start to talk about the number of outcomes. So number of outcomes, you can count. How many outcomes do you have here? You have 1, 2, 3. Okay? So instead of writing that thing as A, B, C, you can write it as 3. And then, I'll come and tell you. How many do we have in as an intersection? It's 2. How many do we have as B only? We have 3. And then how many do we have as our sample space then? And then when we speak about sample space, if we're talking about the number, we are going to talk about Sn. How many do we have? Huh? We have 8. Okay? And then when they speak about probability, then Mashita, it's straightforward. If you want to write it as a probability, then it means we are going to say divide by 8, and then you're also going to divide by what? By 8. So you can write it as a outcomes, number of outcomes, and as a what? As a probability. No, we're not choosing. They wanted us to remind us to say we can have an event diagram with outcomes. We can have a Venn diagram with number of outcomes. You can have a Venn diagram with probability. And I remember probability can be written as a fraction. Okay? It can be a decimal. It can also be what? Be percentage. So here, once it becomes probability, it can be any of those ones. We don't know which one they are going to use. Okay, now as a homework, when you're going to do the following then. Here's your homework. Huiswerk. We are going to do activity number 2 as an huiswerk.